In Christianity, it's a thing where people praise the Son more than they praise the Father.
Have you read the Bible? I would say read it again.
Kirk Franklin was shocked by what NLE and Jonathan Majors had to say about the gospel and Christianity.
But going to church isn't the solution, man.
No, I'm not disagreeing with you, King.
Yeah.
I'm sharing with you what you're walking into.
And
What's
I
happening at the
that.
table is that for a lot of us, let's call it what it is, religious trauma.
I understand
What we're
that.
dealing with a lot at this table is because we have had people make us feel bad.
You know why though? It's a thing where you have us here as people, you have God, and then this is what happened. We got to go through all these different things to get primarily the source.
I think Kirk is onto something here. Some of what keeps people away from going to church is religious trauma, or what we often call church hurt. I don't want to minimize or downplay religious trauma because I do think it's a real thing. But some people will often use this as an excuse to continue living the way that they are living. I appreciate how NLE breaks this down and illustrates it. I think it's helpful. How he describes it is how a lot of people feel about their relationship with God. There's a huge gap between us and God, and there's no way to cross it. He's right to point out that there are obstacles in our path. Some of these obstacles are placed there by other people. But if we're honest, a lot of times we create these obstacles ourselves. We have to make sure that we look at this through the right lens. What he's describing is our journey to God, the primary source, the ultimate source. And the truth is, we can't make our way to God. We see an example of this with the Tower of Babel. The people wanted to make their own way to God. There is nothing we can do on our own to get to God. There is nothing we can do to get to the ultimate source. The only way to bridge that gap, to get where he is for him to come down to us. And that's the beauty of the Christian message. That's the beauty of the gospel. That is, in fact, the good news that the God-man, Jesus Christ, makes his way to us. He makes a way for us to be in relationship with God, our Father.
In Christianity, it's a thing where people praise the Son more than they praise the Father. And that's what I don't like.
Okay.
Because if we are man made in a likeness, Jesus is our brother. You get what I'm saying? Why would I drop down and praise my brother instead of praising my father? And that goes back to honoring your parents.
I just gotta say something.
What?
Have you read the Bible?
I read the Bible, I listen to the Bible, I receive from source straight.
I would say read it again.
This is what happens when we don't understand what Christianity teaches. This also makes sense as to why he thinks he has to make his way to God. The Father and the Son are one in essence. We see Jesus say this throughout the gospel. John 10:30, Jesus says, I and the Father are one. The people understand what he is saying. They respond with, we are going to stone you for blasphemy because you, being a man, make yourself God. Jesus is claiming to be much more than just a man. When people praise the Son, by extension, they are praising the Father who sent him, because this is the Father's will, that they will believe in him whom he has sent. There is no competition between the Father and the Son. They are in perfect relationship with one another and with the Holy Spirit. NLE is correct. We are made in his likeness. But who created us? The scriptures tell us that all things were created by him, for him, and through him. Without him, nothing was made that has been made. Jesus is our brother in the sense that he took on human flesh. Yet to truly know him is to obey him, to live according to his commands. Why would you praise the Son? Because that is what the Father does. The Father praises the Son, and the Son praises the Father. They're in perfect relationship. Jesus is not just a mere man. He is the creator and sustainer of the world.
My dad, and he wasn't my daddy. You remember this whole situation? That broke me too. Because first I didn't have a daddy. And then to find out that God allowed a man to live 10 minutes from me my whole life that was my daddy, that could have helped me out in life. And that didn't happen. Anxiety and depression got so bad for me that I couldn't pray it away. And I was embarrassed, and it made me question my faith. But I had to use medicinal help. And I felt like a failure as a Christian to be able to have to get on some medicine to help me with my anxiety and depression because of how I was raised. I could not pray it away. And this is my first time ever admitting.
Do you still have troubles with anxiety now as today and depression?
I am better because I have had to get help with it.
This is tough. I don't struggle with anxiety or depression, but have people close to me who do. And seeing what they go through at times is heartbreaking. Unfortunately, some people still think this way, that it has to be one or the other. This is why I really appreciated what the Perrys, Jackie and Preston, were doing a couple years ago with their promotion of Jesus and therapy. Some things do require medicinal help, and we are blessed to live in a time where so many advances in medicine have taken place. This whole notion of praying it away is not a good approach, and it's not good advice. As Christians, when we find ourselves in these dark moments, the temptation is to isolate because you feel embarrassed. But that isn't the solution. The solution is to surround yourself with brothers and sisters who care about you, to be in community. This will help in the healing process. The reason we are to walk out our faith with others is so that when we can't pray for ourselves, those close to us can intercede on our behalf. When these moments arise, run to Him, be in community, and when necessary, seek professional help.
Just did that. I found inspiration in that. Where did you get that from? That it wouldn't take away from your masculinity, that it wouldn't take away from your own power.
When I say I don't care, it's not the fact that I don't care about anything. It's just my priorities are so clear now that my mental health, my mental fitness, my physical fitness, my spiritual fitness, these things I cherish. These things are precious. The question is how I get to the other side.
Well, my question is how did you find the comfort and courage to be able to
because
say,
it's more, that's what it is. Because we say that in drama school, you have to increase your need to communicate, right? Like that was our big thing, right? If you can't hear, you increase your need to communicate. I feel so led to break down, right, and diagnose this taboo thing that is around us as men, and especially us as black men, and especially on us as Christian black men.
Wow.
Right?
Wow.
I feel like that is a calling.
Wow.
And a mission for me, because stepping out and watching everything go, you see what people think about you. And you take the good with the bad, you take the crooked with the straights. And what I realized is there's a whole group, a whole ecosystem, an entire demographic of people who are looking at people like me, people like Kev, people like Doc, people like my homie, people like you, and saying, what do they do? What do they do? What do they do? And I go, if the Lord has put me on this, has put me on this earth, and has put me through all this, right? And I'm still standing. And I'm still here, right? I gotta share that. You know, I've got to share that. And the things that were burdening me, I'm gonna unburden in front of folk, so they can see that it's okay. It's really okay that you hurt sometimes. That sometimes the prayers you don't feel like they working.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Doesn't mean they're not working, but sometimes it feels like they ain't working.
Some days
you know. Yes, some days they do. Some days they do.
I'm saying some days they don't feel like they're working.
Yeah.
Oh, gotcha, gotcha.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
yeah.
Yes, sir.
You know, like
sir.
you got
Yes,
the
sir.
most beautiful woman.
Yes.
And sometimes she can't turn it around for you.
Yes.
You know what I mean? That like
Yes.
like these material things do not mitigate
Yes.
the suffering.
This is a great take. I appreciate what Jonathan says here. A lot of times we get distracted by a bunch of other stuff that, in the grand scheme of things, doesn't really matter. It doesn't mean those things are bad, just not as important. I appreciate him emphasizing spiritual fitness alongside other fitness because it's equally as important, if not more so. 1 Timothy 4:8. For while bodily training is of some value, godliness is of value in every way, as it holds promise for the present life and also for the life to come. I think it's also great that he recognizes the opportunity he has with his platform to really make a difference and show people how to navigate these things with a healthy approach. The things we go through in life are to be used to help others who find themselves in similar situations. 2 Corinthians 1:4, who comforts us in all our affliction, so that we may be able to comfort those who are in any affliction with the comfort with which we ourselves are comforted by God. For those of us who have been walking with the Lord, I think we can all think about times when it felt like prayers weren't working. We pray and it doesn't get any better. Sometimes it gets even worse. We have to remember that prayer isn't about changing everything else. Prayer is about changing you. And when it feels like prayers aren't working, I'm reminded of something I heard from Mike Todd a few years ago. He was sharing how he had spent this time fasting and he was expecting to feel on a whole nother spiritual level when he was done. When he was done, he says he felt the same. He didn't feel any stronger. Yet the Lord revealed to him that he was stronger. Just because you don't feel something, it doesn't mean that it's not working. Just because you don't feel stronger, it doesn't mean that you are not. We walk by faith, not by sight. Let me know what you think in the comments. Thanks for tuning in. I'll catch you next time.